Hello, my name is Paul, support engineer for Tibco Jaspersoft. Today I'm going to show you how to change the garbage collector and using the G1 garbage collector in JasperReports Server. So the prerequisites to this video is that you'll need access to the Tomcat properties. The reason for this is that I'm using the bundled installer for JasperReports Server 7.1, and the Tomcat properties has the Java properties in it for us to change. You also need access to the Java tools such as JConsole. This is just to verify that we changed our garbage collection. If you're using the bundled installer like I am, you might need to download those tools. I downloaded JDK.8 or 1.8, and that download to those tools can be found at that link below. So just a brief overview about the G1 garbage collector. The garbage first G1 collector is a server-style garbage collector targeted for multi-processor machines with large memories. It's compatible with Oracle JDK 7 Update 4 and later. More information about the G1 garbage collector can be found here at that link down below. So the recommended use cases for the G1. The main focus of the G1 is to provide a solution for users running JasperReports Server with larger loads. This is suggested for heap sizes around 6 gig or larger. It's also suggested for larger environments with a lot of users running a lot of reports. It's also recommended to use the G1 garbage collector if you're having an error such as the following one that may be shown in JasperReports Server log file: GC overhead limit exceeded. It is also recommended, as I mentioned earlier, if you have server performance issues and you have a large environment with a lot of users running a lot of reports. So the first configuration changes that we need to make are the three above, the .com.sun properties. The first one will be a port number that we'll need to configure and add to our Java properties. That way, when we access it from JConsole, we can see all the information that the Java JVM is giving us. This is just to verify that our garbage collector has changed. The second one, the authenticate the false, that just means that we don't need to authenticate, we don't need a user and password. And then the last one is to tell it that we don't need SSL. The last property that we'll need is the use G1 garbage collection. We'll have to add this property to actually use the G1 garbage collection in our environment. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our Tomcat properties and make those changes. So you can click here. Mine's located here, specifically my PC, JasperSoft, JasperReports Server 7.1, Apache Tomcat, then bin. This is called JasperReports Tomcat W. From there, you'll go to the Java tab. In the Java tab, under Java properties, you'll add these configurations. As you can see, I already added the top three. So what I'll do is I'll need to add the last one here to use the G1 garbage collection. Hit apply, then OK. So in order for these changes to take effect, you'll have to restart the server. I have not restarted my server yet. So let's go ahead and take a look at our JConsole just to see what it says. So we'll start JConsole here. So again, I'm using the bundled installer of JasperReports Server. So I had to install, like I said, JDK 1.8 to get access to these tools. Once you install that, you'll have these tools and you can go to JConsole. Here, we'll use these settings that we used up here to access our VM. Localhost :9999. Again, the port number can change. It can be anything that you want. I'm personally not using 9999. I don't think I ever will. So that's why I set it to that port number. Connect. So here, if we go to VM summary, it'll tell us what garbage collector we're using. Right now, we're using PS Mark Sweep and PS Scavenge. So once we verify that, what we can do is we can restart our server. Again, we already changed our properties, so all we need to do is do a server restart. So again, I'm just restarting my server. This can take a while, depending on your environment. So again, here are the properties just in case you need them, just for configuration purposes. So let me show you the brief overview of that again. So under Java options, you'll add those 4 properties. So let's see if our server is up now. Looks like it's still taking a second. Okay, now it's come up. So now what we can do is we can verify that we're using the new garbage collector. So from there, we'll go to JConsole. We'll have to go to the local host. And the port number 9999 again. So as you can see, now I'm using the G1 garbage collection. G1 young generation, G1 old generation. So again, we're just using JConsole just to verify to make sure that our garbage collection has changed. And as you can see here, it has indeed changed. So now we're using the G1 garbage collection. So now I'm going to show you how to do this in the non-bundled version, the standalone version of JasperReports Server. So the first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to navigate to this folder here, or this file. Here, I'll show you here where it's at right here. It's going to be in your Tomcat file folder, and it's going to be this file called SETENV. And so for there, you just got to edit in a text editor. I'm personally using Notepad++ to make my changes. So here we have it open, and the first thing I'll do is go ahead and add these configurations that we have that we did in the previous one, like I showed you in the bundled installer. That information can be found here. So we're going to add these three settings just to make sure that we still have the connection to it so we can check the garbage collector. So from there, we'll make sure those 3 settings are in place. And so in this file, all we need to do is add it to the very end of this Java ops option that already is configured there. And so all I do is add those 3 settings here at the end. And from there, what we can do is we can check our Java file, or Java folder here, and to make sure we can check our garbage collection. So here we go to remote process, and we go to local host 9999 connect. And so here, as you can see, just like in our previous example, that our garbage collection is another option right now. It's concurrent markup sweep, or mark sweep, excuse me. And so here, what we can do is we can change that option. So here I have my Tomcat started, my whole instance started. As you can see here, it's up, everything's good to go. And so what we'll do is we'll exit out of this, and we'll change that option here in our document. So to change that, in the standalone version, it's already using here. It's using the use con mark sweep garbage collector. So here we'll just change that setting. So we'll highlight over this, paste, or you can write this in. Either one will work. You just got to make sure to remove that old garbage collection. Save. And then here what we'll do is we'll shut down Tomcat. And so we can double check to make sure it's shut down. And it is. And then here what we'll do is we'll start back Tomcat. This may take a while, depending on your environment and everything. So essentially the steps, what we did while that loads up, is that we added these configuration options that we did just like in the previous example. The only reason why we have these in there is to check our garbage collection. Now when we're done, make sure you remove this because you do not want an open port to your JVM. And so the other change we made is that we changed the default. The default was use con mark sweep GC. We changed that with use G1 GC. Okay, so let's see if looks like our environment is still coming back up. So we'll give that a second here. So what we can check is when that comes back up, we'll check our JConsole just to verify and see. So let's give that a second to come back up. It looks like it's loading, so what we can do now is we can check our JConsole. Sometimes it'll be a little quicker than the actual Tomcat coming up. So we'll connect here. So this already came up, and so here we can check And see, as you can see here, our garbage collection has changed. And again, this is just to verify to make sure this changed. That's all we're using JConsole for. And this is how you do it in the standalone version, not the non-bundled one in JasperReports Server. So again, once you're done making these configuration changes, make sure you remove these options here, because these just leave an open port and it's unsecure. So make sure you remove these options from your JVM, restart Tomcat, they're not there. My name's Paul. I'm a support engineer for Tibco Jaspersoft. Thank you very much for watching.